same at the firewall at this point. So to rule that out, I need to kind of be able to log into either from the GUI or from the console and analyze the traffic to at least know, hey, where it's coming, where it's going, is it getting dropped, understand the traffic flow. In that way, I can say, okay, a traffic is coming here, it's going outside, it's not the firewall, let's go to the next point to investigate. So this is what I need to learn how to kind of how the whole thing works.
Right. And if I ask you, rate yourself in a checkpoint firewall, how many you get out of 10? One is, it's
I would
nothing.
say I am at maybe 3.
So three means you know some basics of checkpoints.
I know some basics of checkpoint, like there are 3-layer architecture.
Mm-hmm.
There's a gateway, there's a management, small SMS,
Mm-hmm.
and a GUI. And so the GUI is where you create policy. GUI is the smart dashboard where you create policies and you push that to the smart SMS, and the smart SMS, based on what gateways it's managing, will push those policies to the gateways. So that is my level of knowledge as far as how the overview of this architecture is.
And what level access you have in your environment? I mean, are you able to, log into the command line?
I can log into the command line. I cannot create policies or I cannot push policies, but I can see the policies. I can see the gateways.
But why you not
Um,
able to create the policies? Is it something rights are not given to you?
yeah, rights an argument because
So
I'm
if,
early
if
stage.
you are a checkpoint certified, then they will give you the rights, right?
Yeah, if they're certified and you have enough knowledge and you can prove to them that you the policies you make
So I
will
think best
not break.
way to prove that is you need to be certification. That is what
Uh-huh.
I know about these organizations so far.
Yep. Yep.
If you show them the certificate, they will allow the things. That is how it
Hmm.
works. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you
And
have any plans
I'm
for the certifications?
yes, I do want to take certifications. For me, certifications is only step one. For me, I would rather have confidence in what I'm doing um, than having all the certifications. Certification will come with knowledge, and so I definitely will take certificate. I want to take almost everything they have, but I need to take one step at a time. I want to be where if you ask me any questions, I should be able to answer that without referring to a well. I mean, it's checkpoint product is very huge. It's hard to. I cannot say hey, I can just learn it like Microsoft Windows or anything like that. It's totally different. But I should also or I should be comfortable to say, okay, this traffic is coming here. I can look at this coming in through this gateway or through this interface, and I don't see it dropping, or even if it's dropping, I should be able to understand it. That is my goal.
See, your goal I can give you in one day. Okay. But the problem is that uh, I want you to, understand all the aspect of the checkpoint because,
Mhm,
when you grow,
mhm,
so various things come into the picture. So not only the, looking the drops and telling to the someone, okay, this is what dropping and let's apply this policy and your job
mhm,
is done. So that is one
mhm,
aspect. But I
mhm,
want you to, understand, whole picture, the large picture, how it works.
mhm,
Okay. That
mhm,
is my
mhm,
primary goal.
mhm,
And with learning that goal, we'll be doing these labs to understand,
mhm,
how you can troubleshoot these basic issues.
mhm.
Traffic locating, it's very basic. I mean, if
Oh,
I tell
really?
you the secret, uh, you will never ever, feel that okay, this is something I always telling that okay, I want to understand and identify, but no, it's
Uh-huh.
very basic. Okay.
Okay.
So keep in mind our goal is here to understand the large
Mhm.
picture, and then we'll talk about the basic things. Okay.
Okay. No problem.
Awesome. This is what I have for you, like the contents.
Hmm.
Depending on your requirement,
Uh-huh.
we'll have some modification. But
Sure.
from my side, this is what I feel you should have.
Okay.
Okay. I'll just walk you through what I have
Uh,
designed. And
okay.
this contents are like the way I have designed to understand the old stuff and
Uh-huh.
new stuff. Okay.
Uh-huh.
New stuff, if you talk about the CCSA, it's all about the REST API, this API, and they all talks about the theoretical part. You know,
Okay.
they will not ask you to touch any firewall. They just wanted to have a mindset where just you will see
Uh-huh.
whether the sales guy how it sell this checkpoint. So
Uh-huh.
like that they have the CCSA approach now. Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
we will not have those approach, although we'll be
Uh-huh.
covering that things, okay,
Okay.
but we will
Okay.
not focus entirely on that approach. If I try to explain those things, you'll
Uh-huh.
be like, okay, this is boring, okay. Rather,
Correct. Correct.
we'll go in a
Okay.
practical, okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
So day wise, this is what I have decided to go for. So
Okay.
day one will be talking about checkpoint firewalls,
Uh-huh.
basics. So,
Okay.
although you are at, say, you got 3 points out of 10,
Uh-huh.
but still
Mm-hmm.
you need to see these things in my way. Okay. How
Mm-hmm.
I see the checkpoint. Although you
Yep.
have the basics, but I will
Mm-hmm.
give you those basics plus the thinking from my side, like how I look the checkpoint firewall. So that
Mm-hmm.
is what I cover in introduction part. Then,
Okay.
for example, tomorrow we'll be covering the labs. So
Okay.
we'll be doing the deployments based
Mm-hmm.
on the environment
Mm-hmm.
and some command lines.
Mm-hmm.
Then next day we'll talk about the security policies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and
Okay.
once this three part is done, okay,
Mm-hmm.
this is sort of theoretical part plus some sort of configuration part. Then
Mm-hmm.
actual part comes, which you
Mm-hmm.
like, which is
Yeah.
monitoring and the connections. So here we
Like.
look for the drops, we look for the logs, we look for the some things, how
Mm-hmm.
you can troubleshoot the things. So here we
Yeah.
will try to apply the new concepts like how you do filtering with the commands like MQB monitor, uh, with the TCP dump,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
like that.
VPN, a tunnel, and
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Nice.
I'll then your kind of likes start from here. Okay. So
Okay. Sounds good. Oh
yeah,
man.
and then we'll talk about the network address translation. How the in the Cisco
Yep.
world, in other firewall world, it always something different. Okay. So we'll
Got
talk
it.
about the network address translation.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll talk about the identity awareness feature. We'll try to
Okay.
integrate our Active Directory with the checkpoint firewall.
Got it.
Define the rules, and from there we'll go ahead. So these
Okay.
are the then after that the licensing part, which is smart update. Okay.
Got it. Mm-hmm.
Uh, is it not like that? I'll be covering this thing say for example day 8. If
Mm-hmm.
I feel okay, this licensing part need to be covered today,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll be covering that. Okay.
Yeah.
But
No.
I'll
No
make
problem.
sure that all this concept got clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
And
Yeah.
now these are the advanced concepts, which
Yep.
is not part of CCSA, but I
Mm-hmm.
want you to learn this IPS and
Okay.
threat prevention, how you can
Okay.
apply these things as well. And
Okay.
then at last, we will talk about the introduction to the VPNs,
Okay.
then introduction to the checkpoint clustering, introduction to the checkpoint MDS and VSX, introduction
Okay.
to the firewall. These are the all CCMSE, CCSE about topics. But I
Okay.
want you to at least have the base.
Oh yeah.
So tomorrow, if you want to learn from your side,
Mm-hmm.
having this base will help you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Definitely.
it's not like that you should be dependent on something. That's why that
Got
is
it.
the last decision. What
Got
we will try to cover will cover as much as as early as,
it.
because
Okay.
if you are with that flow, So
Uh-huh.
things will be the easy. If we keep
Uh,
gap of say 2 days, 3 days, and again we'll coming back to the same topic, it will
yeah.
kind of boring, and you will feel again okay, I'm not remembering this and that. Okay, like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
better will we try to cover the topics as much as we can. Okay,
Makes sense.
right. So
Um,
let's start with the site.
okay.
Okay, very basic. Okay, this is how the site looks,
Uh-huh.
and uh, this guy is here, support center
Mm-hmm.
is your friend. So
Okay.
very first thing you need to do, you have to come
Mm-hmm.
here, sign in. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
just follow
Um,
me for this lab,
yeah.
basic things.
Okay.
Then I'll take. Okay, okay. Oh, so sorry, I haven't shared my screen yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, okay. I'm so sorry.
No. No. No.
Let me share my screen. So mostly I'll ask you to share your screen.
Okay.
But for the basic introduction, I want you to
Uh-huh.
see my screen.
Okay.
How I generally, look the website in my
Got
perspective.
it. Mm-hmm.
Is it all visible to you?
Yep. Give me 1 second. I think delay. Yep. I can see your screen. And
So, okay,
all
this,
right.
this will come like this. Let me
Yep.
do this.
I think you'll catch up after a few minutes. There you go. Yep.
It,
It's very clear now.
it's very clear now, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is what checkpoint site. Okay,
Okay.
and believe me, everything is on this site. So
Okay.
whatever data you want, this site will
Mm-hmm.
provide you. Okay. The
Okay.
very first thing what I do when I come to here, you have to sign
Uh-huh.
in. Okay.
Okay.
First, you have to sign up. Okay.
Okay.
Come here, give your say Gmail email ID or whatever the office email ID you have. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For example, let's sign in. I'll just give you an example. Say this is my
Yep.
uh, email ID.
Mm-hmm.
Say this is what my company name. It's optional. You can
Okay.
write same. First
All
name,
right.
last name,
Okay.
this country where you reside. For example,
Uh,
in India, you are in Dallas, USA. You
mm,
can
yeah.
give those details.
Okay. Okay.
And what title you are in. For example,
Mm,
you are, say, security architect. Okay. This
mm-hmm.
is optional field, okay, what you want to do. And then
Got it.
just select this part. I would like
Okay.
checkpoint to notify events and promotions and these things.
Got it.
Checking this box will help you. They will send you, a lot of notification, and the sk stand for secure knowledge, where they
Uh-huh.
give you all those details on how certain things works, what are the
Uh-huh.
steps need to be followed. It's kind of knowledge article. Okay.
Okay.
And once you done that, you have to submit. Then it will send you an email for the confirmation to your email address. And once
Okay.
you confirm, over there it will ask you for the username and password, and you will all set with that.
Okay.
Okay,
Got it. No
very
problem.
basic.
Yeah.
Once that is done, you have to just come here and just log in.
Mm-hmm.
Without login also it will work, but few of the things which are important stuff, they ask you to sign in, right?
Okay.
So once you sign in, this is how the picture is.
Okay.
Okay. uh, if you see try our products,
Mm-hmm.
uh, here there is product evaluation. So if you want to evaluate or
Uh-huh.
checkpoints any
Uh-huh.
product, okay,
Uh-huh.
you can get that product license for free from here. So as
Wow.
of now, whatever the labs we have is just
Uh-huh.
for the 15 days.
Okay.
But I will show you a way you can
Uh-huh.
make your live lab for 30 days
Uh-huh.
and keep having those labs, extending every month for next 30 days,
Oh,
30 days. there is no expiration. You can
Okay.
use your lab for your entire lifetime.
Uh-huh.
So this is what the one thing they have
Okay.
provided. Many people don't
Uh-huh.
know. I mean, if you ask,
Okay.
the other instructor, they don't know how to
Uh-huh.
generate those licenses which you
Okay.
can utilize for your entire life. And if you see the products,
Uh-huh.
you will get all the products. See, whatever
Oh.
the latest products they have, you have the license for that. Even that, the cloud products,
Uh-huh.
you will get license for 30 days and extension for free.
Uh,
Okay, all the products.
uh-huh.
And if you want to learn, you can just apply these things. If you going in a checkpoint market and buying this license, right, it costs you minimum
Uh-huh.
around 20 millions for uh,
Uh-huh.
with support and these licenses. Okay,
Okay.
but for the testing purpose, they have given this all this flexibility, and this is only things for the actual checkpoint tag people. So
Okay.
how the checkpoint tag people works,
Mm-hmm.
they why the lab is always active. They don't have to think about the 15 days trial period. This is the
Uh-huh.
secret. Okay, why
Uh-huh.
they were having all those things with them. This is
Uh-huh.
the secret. Okay, so
Okay.
when we talk about the smart update, okay,
Uh-huh.
I'll be
Uh-huh.
coming here and I will show you how you can generate those license and make your life, I mean, the lab alive for whatever the time you want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's why I said this site is something you need to look. Okay,
Got it.
and there are, if I'm sales guy, okay,
Uh,
so
yep.
these are the things which is,
Mm-hmm.
you can generate the product codes and everything from here
Mm-hmm.
itself. You don't have to go to the checkpoint
Mm-hmm.
asking for the, pricing and everything. You can
Mm-hmm.
only generate this. If you come here, you will walk through all these things, you will understand. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, Now, here, once you create your account,
Uh-huh.
okay, your account will look like this. If you go to the My Account,
Okay.
this is how your account will look like. You will get
Okay.
this ID, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and this ID will help you whenever you raise a ticket with the checkpoint. So, for example, if you're working with some organization now, so they
Mm-hmm.
must be having a support from the checkpoint, whether it's a premium or standard, whatever it is. So,
Mm-hmm.
those support is based on this number. Okay,
Okay. Got it.
within this, you will see whatever the products you have purchased from the checkpoint. So, as of now, we are just using these details for the
Okay.
purpose of the lab.
Mm-hmm.
You will see there is a zero product mention. Let me go
Okay.
back. You see here, I don't see any product. Okay,
Uh-huh.
but
Yeah.
if you purchase any product on the checkpoint, you will see their
Uh,
products here.
okay.
So if you go back to your actual checkpoint, I mean your company's checkpoint site, for
Mm-hmm.
example, it will look like the same. If you come to this part, you will see
Uh-huh.
what are the products you have with your organization. Okay,
Got it.
and from here itself, you can have a facility to go for the supports, erase the
Mm-hmm.
tickets, and whatever actions you want to perform. Okay,
Got it. So this is the gateway to managing all your stuff.
exactly.
Okay.
So, and then if you want to see what checkpoints offers the certification wise, you will have to come
Mm-hmm.
here and check the what they have for the certification.
Okay.
Uh, so this is all like a 3 days program, and they charge you around whatever the dollars for that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are the actual the you if you purchase the product, for example, for say 20-30 millions product, I'm talking about the rupees, okay, not in dollars. So
Okay.
whatever the product if you purchase, they will give you some points with that, and with that points you will learn something. So those are things comes here,
Okay. Got it.
very basic, but
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
should need to know this thing.
Yeah.
And this guy is your friend. So support and
Okay.
services.
Uh-huh.
is everything for you
Okay.
checkpoint
Got it.
light. Okay. So
Okay.
if you see the basic thing, you can create a service request from here.
Uh-huh.
If you want to create a service request for the checkpoint type, you can create from here.
Okay.
If I click that, uh, it will take you to their product center. From there, they will you have to give details for the service.
Okay.
What issue you are facing in, and uh, let's what contact details and everything. I'll just walk you through. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
So if you want to do the say technical product issue,
Mm-hmm.
cloud issue, or whatever, RMA is
Okay.
something which you want to return their appliance. For
Okay.
example, if you purchase the checkpoint appliance and you want to return that because of
Uh-huh.
something function, you will use
Okay.
this function RMA.
Got it.
Okay,
All right. Okay.
basic things.
Okay.
Now come to the support center. Here, whatever you will type, it's like a Google of checkpoint. Okay. So for
Okay.
example, I'm facing issue related to a cluster.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I just type the cluster and it will give you all those documents, SKs.
Okay.
Uh, you can write the specific details. Okay, cluster uh, is down, for example. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just uh, putting some keywords there, but you will get the desired results based on that. So obviously you are facing one of the other issues whatsoever listed here. Okay.
Mm.
So our C cluster member is down and routed payload is in a problem set, something like that. So you just have to
Okay.
come here, click that article, okay, and this is what the symptom they were like. Okay, this is also you observing in your environment, and this is what the solution is.
Uh,
Example. I'm just giving an example.
okay. Got it. Yeah.
Okay, so this is how this thing works. Supports. Okay.
Okay.
Now let me go again to the support center. If you see here, install and upgrade.
Uh-huh.
If you
Yep.
click upgrade wizard,
Yep.
if you want to download any OS from the checkpoint for the upgrade
Uh-huh.
or for the new installation, you just
Yep.
have to come here, click next, give the platform what you have. For example, right now I want to download a security management server,
Mm-hmm.
and then say I have open server environment or
Okay.
whatever VSX, whatever it is, you just
Yeah.
give these details. Or if you have a checkpoint appliance, so you can give it,
Uh-huh.
okay, smart one appliance, whatever it is.
Okay.
So for example, I'm giving now open server, then open server, then which operating system you prefer? Usually we prefer Gaia. If
Uh-huh.
your environment having not only the Gaia, the other also, you can select based on that.
Okay.
And then what version you want to download. So all
Got it.
versions they have listed. So if you latestly we have R81.10, if you want to
Mm-hmm.
download that, just get it.
Okay.
If you
Got it.
see, if you just click this,
Uh-huh.
this OS will download for you.
Got it.
Okay, very
Got
basic.
it. Yeah.
Any questions so far on this?
No. It's understandable right now.
Right. And okay, so I'm hoping if you are managing the checkpoint, so you should know these basic things. That's why I just want
Mm-hmm.
to walk you through this.
No problem.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. So now let me go back. I know today's session is kind of theoretical
Mm-hmm.
because first day we will not directly jump to the lab. Okay,
All
we'll
right. No
basically understand the stuff, and then uh, the next day is something which is more of the labs and the things. Okay.
Yeah. No problem. Right. So, all right.
So you're following me?
Yes. Nope. Very clear. Everything is perfect.
Okay. Yeah. So you something tell me about the three-tier architecture, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is
Mm-hmm.
something smart console. There is something called management server. There's
Mm-hmm.
something called gateway.
Yep.
So we call it is a tier one,
Mm-hmm.
two, three,
Three. Uh-huh.
right?
Yep.
But tell me why we need to have this sort of arrangement. Any idea?
Why? For one, based on this, what it says, it's segregation. Means um, means gateway is doing its gateway job. Management is managing the kind of like you're not having everything on one thing, which puts a lot of load on that unit. I'd rather have it on separate places so it's easy to manage. So Smart Console is like a Windows base, which can be installed anywhere. It's so I'll say flexibility and load um, and uh, and management server can be more like which can manage many gateways. Let's say you have many gateways around the world. You don't have to kind of. It's much easier to have one or two management servers to manage everything than to have on all of them. So I would say it's more for a better, what do you call that thing? Manageability is having it broken down into three areas. I mean, you have the choice to put it on one, but I think the load will be very high because the gateway has to do its function too, like traffic analysis. And on top of it, if you've got to create policies, and if you put it both together on one unit, you're not able to push the policies onto multiple gateways at the same time because you can only do it on one. So I think it's a mix of three things. I think manageability,
Mhm.
light on the load on the gateways, and easier to kind of segregation. That's
Right.
my understanding.
Segregation is the key point here. I was looking for
Got it.
that word. See,
Okay.
this is your home,
Uh-huh.
okay?
Yep.
So you can have this smart console.
Mm-hmm.
This is basically a soft piece,
Yep.
okay?
Yep.
You can download it from anywhere, keep it in any PC, okay?
Uh-huh.
Consider this is one data center,
Uh-huh.
one DC,
Uh-huh.
and this is a one DC,
Uh-huh.
okay? So when you go to any data center, you will
Uh-huh.
see the basic things like the power cable,
Uh-huh.
okay?
Yep.
Here also you will see the power cable
Mm-hmm.
like connected to these appliances
Mm-hmm.
and connected to these appliances. Imagine, okay, tomorrow the power of this data center goes down.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think whatever the traffic is, passing for the communication for the, say data traffic,
Mm-hmm.
it will get down?
Um, where was it cut? It is by the management server. If management server is that the one you said the power goes down, right?
Yes,
If if management server loses power, security gateway will still be running.
perfect. That's why the checkpoint come up with this architecture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when we look more deeper way here, like the clustering solutions and the VSX solutions and everything, you will
Uh-huh.
understand the why this architecture is there. So consider tomorrow, say this data center goes down, okay, this guy is up.
Yep.
Because of that, there is no impact on any traffic, okay,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
because as this is a management server, if it is goes down, we will not worry about it. But if
Okay.
the gateway goes down,
Mm-hmm.
then there will be the problem, right?
Problem. Yeah.
All will call you what happening, business loss and everything.
Uh-huh.
That's why this arrangement is not stops here.
Okay.
You will be having one more data center, one more things where there will be the another gateway.
Okay.
When you closely work with your
Mm-hmm.
network team, they will
Mm-hmm.
tell you the architecture part, and you will
Mm-hmm.
obviously see
Mm-hmm.
this will be in one office, say it's in Irving, okay.
Mm-hmm.
This may be on Carrington or maybe on some other areas of the Dallas. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So tomorrow, if
Mm-hmm.
this goes down,
Mm-hmm.
this will fail over and this will
Mm-hmm.
come up. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's why this arrangement need to be there.
Mm.
If you
More,
talk
more
about
high
yes,
level of uptime.
exactly, high
Sure.
availability. They call it as
Mm-hmm.
high availability.
Mm.
Okay. When we learn the clustering term,
Mm-hmm.
there is one term called high availability, HA.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is
Mm-hmm.
the main purpose. Okay,
Okay.
the backups and everything. This is the
Mm-hmm.
main purpose.
Got
Now, as I said, you have a socket here. Okay, and you told me that uh, the data from this piece get loaded here,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll push that details to here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the
Mm-hmm.
three things get involved,
Mm-hmm.
but this soft piece is only having the purpose of seeing the thing. Actually, when you log in to the console,
Mm-hmm.
smart console,
Mm-hmm.
you are not logging to the soft piece.
Mm-hmm.
You are actually logging to this.
Mm.
So this is like invisible for you. So
Mm.
actually, you are not pushing from here to here.
Mm-hmm.
You are actually doing things to here.
Got it.
Okay. So
Mm.
tomorrow, if you are attending any checkpoint interview and if you tell them that this is what it goes,
Mm-hmm.
then they will agree with you. If you're telling that from here we are pushing here, then here we are pushing here,
Mm-hmm.
that is not the scenario. Whatever the smart console gives you, it's just a visibility of your
Mm.
SMS.
Mm.
I will show you that when we log
Okay.
into the smart management server. Okay.
Okay.
Now, how these things are interconnected?
Got it.
Any idea?
So the interconnected by IP. So um,
You don't have to
basically,
be. I don't want you to be, know these things because I am here to tell you. I'm just, getting something out of you if you know or not. Okay.
I would think logically, I think it's IP based. I mean, Smart Console would have an IP which can connect to the management server. Management server has an IP to connect to the gateway.
Right.
For me
But
also.
if
Yeah.
I have a IP,
Uh-huh.
okay, only with that I am not able to connect to the management server. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Although I can give the username and a password to
Mm-hmm.
connect that, but what
Mm-hmm.
happens inside? I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
know that. Okay. And I'm going to tell
Okay.
you that.
Okay.
So inside this
Mm-hmm.
management server,
Mm-hmm.
it will be when we create this management server, we
Mm-hmm.
are not creating only the management server.
Mm-hmm.
So we are creating something called certificate authority.
Mm. So
In yeah,
management server is a certificate authority with like a Windows server, which
right.
gives.
In
Oh,
in
okay, got
in, in other DNS scenarios, in when we talk about certification for the
it. Mm-hmm.
say SSL certificates or
Mm-hmm.
TLS certificate,
Mm-hmm.
Generally, how the scenario is, this is you, this is your server, and there is something called CA.
Mm-hmm.
So the certificate is trusted by the CA, and it goes from here once it
Mm-hmm.
verified to the gateway. Like this is it happens.
Mm-hmm.
In similar way, in a checkpoint world, when we
Mm-hmm.
create this management server, we are
Mm-hmm.
not only creating the management server, we are creating a certificate authority, and we call it as internal certificate authority. So this
Mm-hmm.
is not like the certificate authority which we have in a global way. So the Gold
Okay.
ID, such
Mm-hmm.
organization, those
Yeah.
are the the global certificate authority. But here,
Mm-hmm.
these are the internal certificate authority. What that means, it will only have the authority to give you the certificate to your gateways
Yeah.
or to your PCs or
Or
whatever you
internal.
have you in your internal network. So
Got
if
it.
you have
So,
those servers, you will give those certificate to us. Yeah, go ahead.
so, so you can take the copy of the certificate from the management server and put it on a server inside your organization, and you will not get that warning message because it's
Yes,
trusted internally. Okay,
but
got it.
there is more on that. Okay.
Okay, got it.
The certificate what you are getting from the management server,
Mm-hmm.
that also need to be signed by the security gateway. When we talk about the certificate issue what we are getting, SSL.
Mm.
Okay, why? Because the gateway is the boss, he only allow the things. Okay,
Wow.
here whatever you will do, you need a
Mm-hmm.
stamp from this boss.
Wow.
That is must.
Got it.
Okay,
Okay, got it.
clear this part.
That is clear. I didn't even know. So,
Yeah,
but we'll see how that is done also,
yeah,
how it's
yeah, yeah,
created and
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Oh.
Now this is a one part of it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but how this management server and the security gateway get connected,
Okay. How do they get connected? Okay,
right?
good
This is the
question.
certificate authority. I am totally
Yeah.
agree with you. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but this certificate authority need to give the permission to connect to the security gateway. So there
Mm-hmm.
is some scenario in behind it, which we
Mm-hmm.
call SIC,
So,
secure
so-
internal communication. It works on some ports, which is 18XXX we call.
okay.
Okay, here is like 210, 209, 190. There are a lot of certificates which
Uh-huh.
come with the picture based on the role, right?
Okay.
And these things get pushed from this management
Money.
server, okay, and pulled from the
Uh-huh.
security gateway. So, for
Okay.
example, pulling this will port will come into the picture, pushing this port
Uh-huh.
will come into the picture. So these things need to be allowed into the gateway.
Okay.
Then only that
Okay.
will happen. But the good part is that due to the intelligence what we have now,
Uh-huh.
we don't have to have a specific rule to allow this.
Oh, it's automatically allowed.
Yes, and that is also a part of it. There is something called implied rule
Uh-huh.
which do this part.
Got it. Got it.
Okay.
But okay, down the road we'll see how if somebody how does it trust? Like if another management server comes inside and
Yes.
send,
Yeah.
how would
How
that's
he knows
yeah.
I have to push the policy here,
Mm-hmm.
or some other management server comes, and
Mm-hmm.
how he, I mean, for example, I am a hacker.
Yep.
I have created a similar environment. Okay.
Yep.
Now, from this hacker point of view, I will give the gateway details and everything, and I want to push the policy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I am not because of
Mm-hmm.
the SIC. Because the SIC key I only know. I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
only know. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
However, if this key hand over to this guy, then
Mm-hmm.
it will be the malicious. But
Mm-hmm.
again, there are a lot of things come with the picture because this is not only reside with the password. They
Mm-hmm.
have the uh, cryptographical algorithms in a place which helps you
Mm-hmm.
to have these things securely.
We'll have to look deeper into it when we create our lab and see what how the SIC is trusted. That's very important.
Of course, man, you will having all those things. This is
Wow.
the theoretical part. Why I want to this thing now.
Yeah.
Now we're going on a lab, and
Yeah.
in lab, I will tell you. Tell me what is.
Mm-hmm.
So something will be call you. Oh, this is
Yeah.
sick. Oh, this is a certificate. Oh, this is this. This is that. You know.
We got it.
Any question here so far?
So far, no good. All good so far.
Any silly question? If you tell me like what is this G stand for, I will tell you that also.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. No
Tell
problem.
me if you have any question. Because
And
without questions, I don't like the scenarios. You have to ask me.
I'll definitely ask you a ton of questions as soon as we start hands on.
Okay.
And you can ask me as many questions as you can too, because that's what I really like. And that way I know that I'm focused 100%.
Yeah. And also, you don't hesitate to tell me your timings because
Yeah.
if you are hurry and doing something and you want to do something else, let me know. We'll
Yeah.
stop that session. We'll continue like from the next day.
All right.
Because
No problem.
I will keep going on. I want you to make sure that you are the expert into the checkpoint, whatever I'm learning. I mean,
Man,
teaching you. Okay.
I'm so glad. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Now, this looks simple, but this
Mm-hmm.
is the key point of the entire checkpoint world. If
Mm.
you know this thing,
Mm-hmm.
lot of the times troubleshooting will make your life easy. Okay.
Mm. Mm.
You know what is stateful inspection?
I heard, yeah. So what stateful inspection is, when a traffic goes out, it keeps track of the traffic when it returns. So it keeps a table. So if it goes out and it goes to a web server and it comes back, it knows that okay, the traffic was gone, and then so there is a table which keeps that record
Okay.
of that connection.
Perfect. Perfect. So this is your web server.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is your firewall. Okay. Consider.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the internet. So you are saying the traffic from here will go from here, will go from here, and whatever the return packet will come, okay,
Yeah, have
the
a
things
source and
will
the
track here.
destination. Yeah.
But don't you think same will be true when the packet comes from here?
Well, there's a source and a destination port and an IP. So it will have to be the same.
Right. So it
Uh-huh.
will not differentiate anywhere that whether the traffic is generating from the inside or
Uh-huh.
from the outside. Okay.
Okay.
So many times if this is a web server,
Uh-huh.
so web server are generally exposed to the outside world because the people he should get utilization from this web server. So this is a say Google web server.
Uh-huh.
If I want to access Google web server, what will happen? This will come like this, right?
Uh-huh.
And then the return packet will go like this, right?
Yeah.
In general terms, there is something called three-way handshake. You know that?
Yep. Yep. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
TCP three-way handshake.
Yep. Synac, and
Yes. So
ACK.
what happens here? There is a one server.
Mm-hmm.
This is a client. This is server. So
Mm-hmm.
I want this is a Google server,
Mm-hmm.
and this is my PC. And now
Mm-hmm.
I want to access some web page from the Google.
Mm-hmm.
What I will do?
Mm-hmm.
I will send a request to the Google, which is
Mm-hmm.
a sync packet.
Mm-hmm.
Google responds me back on that. Okay, I got your request,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will also acknowledge that uh,
Mm-hmm.
the request is received, and now the
Mm-hmm.
data actually starts sending. So I send
Mm-hmm.
the request, say I want to access the checkpoint.com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the data payload, and
Mm-hmm.
then from here, from its whatever the checkpoint server, I
Mm-hmm.
will get this details, right? But
Mm-hmm.
this is happening in very fraction of seconds, right? We don't
Mm-hmm.
know that. So
Mhm.
these things why happen so fast? Okay, because of these sort of features what we have in the firewalls, in the load balancers. So one of that feature is stateful inspection.
Mm.
It inspect your traffic, as you said,
Mhm.
okay,
Mhm.
and it inspect based on parameters. For
Mhm.
example, this is your packet,
Mhm.
okay. Packet have too many fields. One is
Mhm.
your, source IP.
Mhm.
One is your destination IP.
Mhm.
Okay. One is your say source port.
Mhm.
One is your destination port. One is
Mhm.
your protocol which you are
Mhm.
using. And again,
Mhm.
there is like a sequence number and everything.
Mm.
Okay.
Mhm.
These details get
Mhm.
captured, but it has to be stored somewhere. From
Mhm.
there, it will get matched, right?
Mhm.
So it
Mm.
store into some tables, which is
Mm.
called
State
dynamic
table.
tables, which also
Okay.
called kernel table.
Oh,
Okay, in checkpoint world we call it kernel table.
kernel tables.
In
Okay, got it.
other world we call some XYZ tables. Okay,
Got it.
so when we go ahead with the rest of the courses, then there are many tables like a template table. There is a connection table. You know, so the features like secure Excel, those are the advanced features.
Uh-huh.
Like the stateful inspection, these features come into play and it will
So
give you the fast processing. Yeah,
this is a database table or a database inside the firewall.
right.
Okay.
Database inside the firewall, okay,
Okay.
provided
Mhm.
it has some limitation.
Mm.
So it has some buffer size,
Mm.
okay. So for example, whatever the new connection comes, it
Mhm.
stays there for X amount of time. Okay.
Mm.
If
Interesting.
the
Mhm.
returning packet will return on this X amount of time, then only that will
Mhm.
process. But
Oh, well. Yep.
yes, so your one of the question will get resolved here, which
Mhm.
is why we have the request timeout.
Mm. RTO.
Why you will get
Very
the
good.
timeout error,
Interesting.
right? Why these
Yeah.
things comes, you know? Because
Yeah.
when we initiate the communication happens. Okay, the response and your network is well, everything's happening well, the communication happens
Mhm.
well. But if there is an issue, then there
Mhm.
will be such sort of things. So, there is something called DOS. You heard about the term DOS attacks?
Yeah. A DOS, a
Denial of
denial of
service
service
attacks.
attack. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
What happens in that?
Hmm. Okay.
There's,
Lots
there,
of dummy
yeah, there is
computers
lots of
sent
bots,
there.
right?
Yeah.
DDoS
Yeah.
attacks, we will talk. What they do, they
Mhm.
try to hit your communication, try to choke the
Uh-huh.
bandwidth of your network. So this is a
Uh,
firewall, right?
uh-huh.
It keeps sending the packets here. Okay, so all
Yeah.
are the same packet because obviously there is no purpose of allowing these packets. So all the SIG packets come to the firewall. But
Power gets
just
choked.
remember,
Mm.
if this buffer
Mhm.
would
Mhm.
keep this packet forever, what will happen to the firewall,
Oh, buffer overload.
right?
Yeah.
So to avoid such situations,
Uh-huh.
this buffer use because of that
Oh.
time limit there, you know,
Oh.
that's why. That's why there is some safety from the this sort of attacks,
Interesting.
right?
Okay.
Yeah. So now your firewall, checkpoint firewall, it resides in between two layers. One is your transport layer. I mean, in a
And
theoretical part, I'm just saying,
yeah.
works
Okay.
above to network layer. I mean, from network to the above, it works for all levels. But when if someone in an interview asks you the question where the checkpoint firewall resides,
Mm-hmm.
it resides between the your network layer and the transport layer. Or
Mm-hmm.
when we talk about the packet filtering firewall feature of the checkpoint firewall, which
Mm-hmm.
start above the data link layer. Okay, just the theoretical part. Just keep in mind this is what happens when we talk about where it's stay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Any
Mm-hmm.
doubts so far?
Okay.
Any question?
Um. So there's a table. There's a table which is in. So this firewall is sitting above the data link layer. That's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps a record of all the transactions which going in and out of the firewall. There's a buffer table which keeps the database of the information for a certain amount of time. So this is stateful infection. So there, okay, that so checkpoint firewall is a stateful inspection firewall.
Yes.
Okay,
And they
got it.
quote this thing as well that the checkpoint firewall they have the patented this technology. They have patented this stateful inspection.
Oh, oh, really? Okay.
That
So
is what they say.
the other companies do something similar to it, or they don't do it at all.
They do the same thing. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
But
But
when
they just
you read the checkpoint books,
yep.
the very first thing what I got is
Mm-hmm.
the stateful inspection is patented by the checkpoint firewall.
Got it.
Right?
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Any
No
other
problem.
doubt? Any other doubt? Anything?
Right now, no, I'm good so far.
Because I am giving you all aspects. That's why.
No, I
Just
like it.
kidding.
It's good. I mean, I have some overview of it, but I mean, now comes the hard part. No, okay. Earlier
Yes,
was
we
easy.
are
Now
covering
it's
all the things. Don't worry. Okay.
yeah. Okay, good.
So this is how the checkpoint firewall's internal architecture. Okay.
Ah,
So
now
this,
the real stuff.
yes. So say this is my firewall. Okay.
Uh,
And this is what happens inside. Okay.
oh
Consider like
man.
that. This is my gateway.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now,
Mm,
so this is the say outside world cloud,
yeah. Uh-huh.
and the packet is coming from this to here
To the Nick. Yep.
to the NIC. Okay.
Mm,
What will happen? How this
okay.
stateful inspection actually works inside.
Mm,
So as soon as say the new packet. Okay.
mm-hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
do you mean by new packet?
That
That
means it's not in
state,
the table.
yes, that state is not stored into that state table or a kernel
Mm-hmm.
table. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that is a new packet. So
Mm-hmm.
it comes, it hit to your NIC. When you talk
Mm-hmm.
about the checkpoint packet flow, when
Mm-hmm.
it hit to the NIC, there are a lot of things happens. For
Mm-hmm.
example, if you talk about the theoretical part, number one, this says IP spoofing. Okay, we were going to see this in a bit. Then
Okay.
there is something called SAM table. SAM table is something used to see this, DOS sort of things, bots.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
block there, those things.
Mm-hmm.
Then the you can say whatever the policy. Then there is a NAT. Then there is a routing. Okay, these things
Mm-hmm.
happen. If you talk about
Mm-hmm.
in generic packet flow, okay,
Mm-hmm.
we are not going in that direction on
Mm-hmm.
this slide because this is a
Mm-hmm.
stateful inspection we need to understand. Okay,
Okay.
right? So once the packet hit to your NIC,
Mm-hmm.
firewall intelligence decide whether that is a new packet or the old one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
if it is a new packet, okay,
Mm-hmm.
what happens? The packet matches your firewall rules.
Oh.
So when you define your firewall rules,
Uh-huh.
those rules get matched. Okay,
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
XYZ packet details are there. When I say
Uh-huh.
about the packet, I'm talking about IP,
Mm-hmm.
port, okay,
Mm-hmm.
source IP, source
Mm-hmm.
port,
Mm-hmm.
destination IP, destination port.
Mm-hmm.
When you define the policy, these are the things we define, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
So those things get matched. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, it get matched. what happens? The log entry created for
Okay.
that packet.
Got it.
Okay.
Mm.
Then,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the situation, we usually
Okay.
have the drop the packet or accept the packet. Okay.
Okay. That's on the firewall rule.
Yes, the rules, one of the field is called action.
Uh-huh.
Here we have the action like a drop or accept.
Okay.
Okay. So this
Mm-hmm.
action is based, okay, pass the packet.
Mm-hmm.
If yes, it will go to the destination. For example, your web server.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, say the packet is not a new connection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this thing will not happen. So here
Mm-hmm.
is you have the kernel table,
Mm-hmm.
your connection table, your template table, whatever the tables we have.
Mm-hmm.
Based on that match, it will direct go to your web server.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
Now,
the first
yeah,
new connection is what decides is that a new connection or an old connection, or it's already in there. So if it's a new connection, then it goes through the whole process. If it's not, then it goes directly to the destination.
yes. In
Okay.
CCSA, there is a concept called secure Excel.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So what the secure Excel says, so here there are different tables, right?
Oh,
So those tables already look this packet.
okay,
And
okay,
the role of the secure Excel is to accelerate your communication.
okay.
Okay.
Got it.
So that is advanced topic, but
Okay,
I want you to know what happens here. Okay.
got it.
So once the new connection comes,
Mm-hmm.
if you say it's a new connection, then all this processing happens. If it's
Mm-hmm.
not, it goes to the TCP IP stack to the outside. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if I say the packet matches rules, then logs entry created and whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is, and then go to the outside world. But what if that packet is not matched? Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
there's either two condition.
Mm-hmm.
As a
Drop.
firewall has the policies one, two, three, which
Mm-hmm.
takes all the policies, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's matching or not. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If it's matching any out of the policy, it will
Mm-hmm.
again follow the same flow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not matching any policy, any rule, then
Mm-hmm.
there is two options comes. One, we specifically defines that packet need to be dropped. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, for lot of things there is no rules at all. For example, say some public IP is trying to hit my firewall. Why
Mm-hmm.
should I have a rule for this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
only have only one rule which clean up this communication,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Got it. Mm-hmm.
the one which I don't have a rule,
Mm-hmm.
it will just drop. Okay.
Got it. Okay.
But the one for which I have a rule to drop the communication,
Mm-hmm.
okay, for that there is something called reject acknowledgement.
Mm.
Okay. As you see here, the packet uh, passes the rule, it allows, it goes to the
Mm-hmm.
outside world. But if it's not, we are dropping that packet, then there is
Mm-hmm.
something called reject.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Usually we rejecting that packet. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that will reject and a
Mm-hmm.
negative acknowledgement
Mm-hmm.
sent to the your sender.
Sender. Okay.
This is my sender. From here the packet is coming.
Mm-hmm.
So the negative acknowledgement sent to this guy that okay, I'm dropping your packet. So you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we get uh, connection refuse
Mm-hmm.
error, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why we get that error? For all things we not get. For some internal communication we get this error, connection refuse. right?
Because it was not in the table or it was not clearly explained or like documented what to do with the traffic.
Right. That means your firewall is actually dropping your communication. Okay.
Correct.
And you have a rule for that. That's why you're getting those acknowledgement.
Mm,
Got it?
got it. Hmm. Well, down the road we will see this in action, like seeing how a packet comes in, if it's originating from inside, originating from outside, and all the scenarios. Because right now it's like overview, so it's just that theory
Whenever
part.
we will do the, now if right now you have this, you are already the admin of the checkpoint firewall.
Hmm.
When you do the troubleshooting, okay,
Hmm.
in our scenario, maybe we will not get the connection refused or something like that, because
Hmm.
uh, it depends on the, what is the end server you have. So your end
Mm.
server you have, say, some sort of SQL servers or something like that. You know,
Uh,
those server have the capability to send you the acknowledgements. Okay,
okay,
so
got it.
for them you will get this sort of details like, connection refuse, something like that.
Hmm.
But all those capabilities is not with the other servers. Okay,
Mm.
they will have
Mm.
some
Mm.
other, capabilities. So what we
Okay.
have accordingly we'll see in our environment.
Okay, no problem.
But
All right.
I'm sure in the path of this troubleshooting, whenever you
Uh-huh.
do the live troubleshooting with your environment, you will definitely see these things, and I will show you where you will see those things.
Yeah, that's more because these things is inside the firewall, right? It's
Yeah.
after the NIC. It's the data has passed the NIC, so you should be able to kind of see where the traffic has gone through
So
the NIC
I
and
will walk you through with those
um,
tables,
yeah,
how the connection table looks, what is the
yeah,
packets
yeah,
there. Okay, so don't worry
yeah.
about that,
That is what I need. All right, cool.
right?
Yep,
So,
nice.
and next is I have just explained the same thing with the
Mm-hmm.
packet flow, what I have just
Okay,
explained you. Okay.
okay, got it. So that is called what is this whole thing called? The it's called the packet flow analysis, or
This is called, uh, I can't tell it like a deep packet inspection, but
mm-hmm.
we call it packet inspection for now.
Got it.
When I use the deep word, that
Mm-hmm.
means I have to tell you core Excel, I mean
Mm-hmm.
the features like core Excel,
Mm-hmm.
secure Excel, and the rest of the
Mm.
things. But
Wow.
those are the not a part of this course. You
Okay.
will learn this in a CCSA. Okay,
Got it.
right. So, what is your state? Are you able to grab more?
Yep, I can grab more. Yeah.
Okay, you are hungry.
Man, you just don't know because it's because overview, like you see a policy drop or it's easy, but when you
See, this,
go
if
under
we
the
have
hood,
this approach right, we'll
yeah.
try to wrap up by end of next week. To be honest,
Wow, wow, very good.
I don't want to take you more time. If
Nice.
you give me this attention, I will make sure you will have all things in a week with you.
Be nice, man. Because I want to understand under the hood. That so any that's what I really want. And this is just the beginning. There's so much I want to learn. Like you were talking about VSX. I have no clue about it, but I am so dying to learn that thing. And there's something else. Yeah,
When see, to be honest, in United States,
yeah.
the checkpoint expert
Uh
per
huh.
hour billing is $150.
Uh
Okay,
huh.
to be honest,
Mhm.
if
Mhm.
you know MDS, if you know VSX,
Mhm.
and the cherry on the top, if you
Mhm.
have those certificates,
Mhm.
if you have those certificates,
Mhm.
man, no one will stop you to buying them.
Mm.
Why I
Wow.
was in the United States? Because of this
Mhm.
technology. They invited me. you know.
Wow.
Yeah, and my client
Wow.
was, the government of city of San Diego.
Wow.
So I was managing the internet. Unfortunate for
Nice.
me, the visa
Yeah.
extension got denied. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that's why I have to come back. But my experience over there was very good. I was into the Dallas itself. Uh,
Wow.
I still am not remember that. My office was on the freeway,
Uh-huh.
Johnson Freeway. It's next to Irving. Uh,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Wow. 183, 635.
Yes, yes, yeah, on that highway itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
So
So you learned all this by yourself, or did you work for somebody who? Well, you worked for Checkpoint, so you learned a lot. But the, so
initial days I spent it like I have attended these courses, 3 days
got it.
courses.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I don't know if you see my screen.
Hmm.
I will show you those certifications I have from the
Mm.
checkpoint. So
Okay.
I have spent those 3 days amounts for
Wow.
CCSA, CCSE because I was invited for this sort of work and I wanted to know more on that. But
Correct.
yeah, but you know what? The way I'm teaching you, they will
Yeah.
not do that. Till this time,
No.
they were like, okay, this is that. They will give you the overview, but you
Yeah.
have to go
Yeah.
inside, man. You have
You
to.
have to go inside. That's the only way. Even by now, by you showing me the graph of that traffic, it's in my mind right now. I see the nick, and then I see the traffic. Now, when we go into the inside the GUI,
Mhm,
not the GUI, but the command line,
mhm.
and I'm curious to see each of those pointers where the decision is made, and all that happens in that little firewall, little box. That's mind blowing. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
man. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll do that. So what we will
yeah.
do now, we'll have a quick 5 minutes break. Okay.
Okay, sounds
Grab some water
okay.
and come in 5 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, no problem. All right, go. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So I'm back. Let me know if you're back.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I'm here. I didn't go anywhere.
So still you able to see my screen or no?
Yes. Yep. All clear.
Okay. Now we'll see the deployment consideration. Okay.
Okay. All right.
When you think like an architect, uh, you need to know like where I will put my firewall, like what is my purpose, uh, what should be, what way, where, what is my requirement. Based on that, I have to do the deployment of my firewalls. I have to purchase the firewall based on that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk on that point, uh,
Mm-hmm.
we have a various options, like how to design our network, what should be, things should be there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
based on
Mm-hmm.
that, we have the deployment consideration and
Mm-hmm.
the deployment platforms, like how we can, think and install these firewalls into the checkpoint
Mm-hmm.
network, right? So,
Okay.
in a simple term, they have a two deployment.
Mm-hmm.
One is standalone,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and one is distributed. So, as you can see on my screen,
Mm-hmm.
standalone is your one firewall.
Mm-hmm.
In that one firewall, I think you know this, you
Mm-hmm.
have the management server
Mm-hmm.
and you have the
Gateway.
gateway,
Mm-hmm.
right? So your all management server component, your all management security gateway component is within one firewall. But what
Mm-hmm.
is the drawback of this deployment?
Mm, it's well, going back to the thing. It's you, if you put everything inside, you cannot manage. There's going to be a load of doing two things. One person doing two things, and the other thing is is you the load will be very high. Yeah, like exactly right.
One
In
is
a sec.
load, and
Yep.
second thing is that, for
Mm-hmm.
example, as I said, the power example,
Mm-hmm.
if this is in a one data center, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I have only one appliance,
Mm-hmm.
and if it goes down,
Mm-hmm.
then there will be a problem, right?
Yep.
Your gateway
Mm-hmm.
and SMS both will be goes down at the same time. We are
Mm-hmm.
okay if the SMS is down, but we are not at all okay if the gateway is down.
Gateways down. Yeah, there's two different
Yeah.
aspects. Yeah.
But consider if you have a small organization,
Mm-hmm.
say a small company,
Mm-hmm.
when you buy these checkpoint appliances, if
Mm-hmm.
I talk in terms of rupees,
Mm-hmm.
so one single appliances it's cost you from 1.5 crore
Mm-hmm.
to 2.5 crore.
Mm-hmm.
This is what the cost of the one single appliance.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a small company,
Mm-hmm.
at that time you also have to consider the cost, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you not consider that, then there will be an issue. So having this thing in a mind that okay, we'll be having the issues like a power loss and everything, you
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you have to buy this appliance like a standalone and do the standalone
Mm-hmm.
configuration.
Mm-hmm.
Example, if your company's valuation is say 1 crore,
Mm-hmm.
and for that you're applying appliance 1.5 crore,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make sense, right? So in that
Mm-hmm.
situation, you have to consider these things. So
Mm-hmm.
when you work like an architect,
Mm-hmm.
solution architect, then these things will come in a picture that okay, what we should have for this, right?
Makes
So that is
sense.
a standalone deployment.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is a distributed deployment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in distributed deployment, we have a separate management server.
Mm-hmm.
So for management server, we'll refer a term SMS,
Got it.
security management server.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and for this firewall, we'll refer a term gateway.
Okay.
Okay, So in distributed environment, you have only one management server, SMS, and one gateway.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
as we saw in a three tier architecture,
Mm-hmm.
this may be with some other, you know, data center.
Mm-hmm.
This may be another data center. And
Mm-hmm.
as this is a dedicated appliance, so the load, your point,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
is manageable. I mean, he's carrying his own load. He's not
Mm-hmm.
pushing for the management work, and manager
Mm-hmm.
server carrying his own load. But
Mm-hmm.
buying these things together,
Mm-hmm.
SMS and the gateway, will
Mm-hmm.
cost you, of course, more.
Mm-hmm. Just two
Right?
different appliances.
That is the one you can say the disadvantage. But
Mm-hmm.
depends if your company is able to purchase that, you can go with that.
Can you have a SMS as a VM and the gateway as a real gateway, like appliance?
Yes, you have
Okay.
that. So
Uh,
VM, we get a soft piece,
uh-huh.
okay, but this also involves some cost
Oh,
of licensing.
okay.
Hardware and the VM.
Mm-hmm.
What is difference between that?
Hardware is made for that kind of performance
Its
and
functionality,
yeah.
hardening, scalability is everything
Mm,
strong because it's
yeah.
all integrated, all chips are there, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, we can depend on that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But when we talk about the VMs, okay,
Mm-hmm.
VMs are not that stable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. VMs having a performance issue. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But your point is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
If it is a SMS,
Mm-hmm.
why not VM? Because
Mm-hmm.
what we need to do with that? We just have to configure the policy, doing things and blah blah blah.
Okay. Sure.
But consider,
Mm-hmm.
for example, the checkpoint, the Facebook they uses checkpoint firewall. Okay.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Consider the Facebook example.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what policies, what load you want to apply every day,
Mm-hmm.
every second on these
Mm-hmm.
gateways,
Mm-hmm.
right? Do you think this VM will carry that much load?
Not that kind of load.
Yes, it will carry, but you know, somewhere it will give you slow performance, some
Mm-hmm.
situation because there are a lot of dependencies. There are other hardwares. So if
Yeah.
you want to have the VM, you need to have a say Dell hardware or HP
Mm-hmm.
hardware, right?
Yeah.
In that you need to have this VM. There is a cost of this involved, plus
Mm-hmm.
the management of this involved, plus
Yeah.
the maintenance and everything is got involved. Okay,
Mm.
plus the license of the VM also involved. So
Got it.
when we calculate that,
Mm-hmm.
there will be not much difference in the pricing, but you have
Mm.
to lack somewhere on a performance part.
That's true.
Why checkpoint they come up with the hardware? This is the situation solution for that.
Got it. Got it.
Got it? Okay. So in a distributed environment, security management server, security gateway, and for the SMS there is a separate connections. For
Mm-hmm.
the gateway there is a separate connections. Your life is easy, right?
Got it.
Now, if your organization is rich enough, so they
Huh.
also think these options.
Got it.
So within a standalone deployment, you can purchase two different appliances. So
Okay. Huh.
it will be act like a SMS and gateway. It
Mm-hmm.
will act like a SMS and gateway, but we
Mm-hmm.
will do the HA or a clustering between them. So tomorrow,
Okay.
if this is in a one data center, this is in another data center. If something
Mm-hmm.
happens to this data center, it will up.
Mm.
And the thing will work from here,
Got it.
right? But again, think this is cost involved,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
So these three deployments are important, and then there's something called bridge mode. You know,
Mm-hmm.
in a real world,
Mm-hmm.
there is some already the communication network is going on. Okay, like that. Now you want to introduce a new firewall. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
to this network. We While network admin, we not directly go ahead and install that firewall here. Without checking the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We should know how the things going on with this communication network, right?
Got it.
So we have to monitor those traffic, observe those traffic. So for
Mm-hmm.
that we have something called bridge mode. So
Mm-hmm.
that silently will keep this firewall here, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and will mirror the communication to this firewall. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
the passing from this interfaces,
Mm-hmm.
we'll just divert that communication to here.
Mm-hmm.
And this firewall, act like say monitoring device
Mm-hmm.
for your whatever the communication is happening.
Okay.
So for that we use bridge mode.
Got it.
Okay.
It doesn't make any decision. It just forwards everything.
Yes. So it's like a
Got it.
doing the traffic analysis,
Got it.
right?
Yep.
Now let's talk about the secure internal communication.
All right.
So you have already the idea what is secure internal communication. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the checkpoint platform product authenticate each other through one of these secure internal communication method. We already discussed about the certificates,
Mm-hmm.
then standard based TLS for creation for a secure channel.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about the creating a communication between the management server and the security gateway, the communication happens with the password. Okay. But these are the things which internally come into the picture. So
Mm-hmm.
certificate get used, the TLS based authentication get used, then the encryption part. So 3DS, AES, now there is support for AES,
Mm-hmm.
latest algorithm say 256 and everything for
Mm-hmm.
more secure. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, do you think you need more explanation on this secure internal communication, or we'll just look when we do the lab?
When we do the lab right now, the logic, no, it's like a first time when they both meet, they have a password. You create a password on the management server, and when you sync up with the gateway, you put in the password. So it's a one-time communication, I think.
Yeah.
And once they trust each other, then they can flow the traffic. And sometimes they break, and then you reset the SIG for the communication start. So the overview logic, I got it. Yep.
Yeah. That is what I'm trying to explain in the next few slides.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is how it
Yep.
looks, but
Yep. Yep.
this
Yep.
is more better. We'll talk when
Mm-hmm.
we discussing the lab.
In the lab, when we see the
Yeah.
states of
Yes.
connection. Yeah.
Yeah. And these 3 points are important now. So
Mm-hmm.
when you establish a SIG, you will
Uh-huh.
see these three things.
Three states. Yeah.
Either you will see it's communicating. That means
Uh,
the SMS and the management server, they are in sync and they are communicating. There is no issue at all.
okay.
Either you will see unknown. That means
Okay.
there is no connection between the security gateway and the security management server. So this will help
Okay.
you in a troubleshooting. And
Got it.
you will see something like not communicating.
Uh-huh.
The security management server can contact the security gateway, but
Uh-huh.
cannot establish SIG. I mean, the IP
The,
communication ping pong is there between the two,
oh,
but the
but
SIG is not established.
the trust is not established.
Exactly. So
Okay.
by just looking into this message, you will come to know what need to be delivered.
Got it. Unknown means that they've never met each other. Not communicating means they don't trust each other.
Yes,
Communicating means they trust each other. Got it.
right.
Three of them. All right.
And this is how the policy flow. Okay. So
Okay.
it's a top-down approach. So first,
Uh-huh.
the request to open a connection like one connection. Uh,
Yep.
Firewall compares the data. If it match
Mm-hmm.
rules, it will check if that rule is matched. The communication
Mm-hmm.
stops here. Okay.
Okay.
because that rule is got matched. It
Got it.
will not look for the rest of the rules.
Oh, just forward.
But if it's not matched, it keep looking the next rules. Okay,
Okay. All right.
until it matches. Of course, somewhere it matched. Why?
Got it.
Because there's something called cleanup rule at the end of the all rules. If nothing
Oh,
matches, this rule get matched.
okay, and it will
Right?
drop it. Oh, whatever the cleanup says.
Yes.
Got it.
Uh, and this is something when we look for the policy, what is
Okay,
there.
got it.
So
Fields.
there's no point to explain this thing now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, yes. So this is also we will explain during the
Okay.
policy installation. I
Yep.
mean during
Yep.
the those things.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a time, we can go ahead and configure the lab or something
Yep.
like that.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Let's do one thing. Share your screen now. It's
Yep.
my part is over now.
Okay.
It's all
No problem.
yours.
I am not used to the Google thing, so you
Okay.
may have
You
to
able to
guide
see
me.
my screen?
Yes.
You see there is something called you are presenting here. The top this guy. Let
Yeah.
me point here. This guy.
Yeah. Uh-huh. It
This
says
guy.
you are present. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If you click there,
Uh-huh.
it will give you present screen and it will
Got
show
it.
you the screens.
Your
You can
entire
present from
screen.
there.
Got it.
Okay.
So share now.
Yeah, I'm
All
just
right.
copying my.
All right. Okay. I can see it's setting. All right. Good. All right. Perfect. Uh,
Yeah. So write it down. Just open a notepad. I'll tell you the network. Okay. Uh, for now, say for your Windows host machine, the IP address is 192.168.10.1. Okay. /24. For your management server, the IP will be from the same network, right? Yeah, just put it any IP address there. Say 1.2, something like that. And the gateway also we need to have the same network IP address for so that it will be communicate well. Yeah. Okay. Right. And your PC will be having some IP address also belongs to the same network. PC. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is fine. That is fine. Then give one IP address to your AD server. Just write it down AD server and give IP address 192.168.1.20 say. Okay. And one IP address for your IPS attacker 192.168.1 dot say 30, right? For CCSA course we are not doing any clustering, okay? Although I'll be explaining those concepts to you, but for a lab purpose we are not doing this. Within this, we are going in depth. For example, the troubleshooting, the commands, the configuration, and everything. Okay, that is the scope of this lab. And as you said, you want some troubleshooting. That's why I added those IPS and AD integration. So you will get more, troubleshooting on that, right? Uh, no, this is tools from the checkpoint. So you will actually, generate the traffic which is malicious towards your net, and that will be captured. So we will see that. So we required a one more machine as a honey pot. Okay. So honey pot will do like we will attack that machine. Right? So give it IP address 192.168.1 dot something, right? That is the one which we attack. Okay. So the topology is very simple. I don't think so. We will having any issue on the topology part. Uh, you are good at your Wisp client, right? I mean, no, no. I want you to put those options there because I'm good at the VM workstation, for example. I can explain on that part, but this part I done previously when I was with the checkpoint. But now maybe I'm remembering, not remembering. So you are the master for me, for this guy. Okay. So what we will do, we'll start with the uh, management server installation. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So here, for example, you can create multiple networks, right? And how about the netting part? I mean, if I want to do the NAT, 192.168.20.59, or say some other IP address, 172.32, something like that. Uh, is that possible here? Because if that is possible, then it will be very helpful for you to show me. I mean, I will show you a lot of things from the mapping perspective. Yeah, the natting will be done on the firewall, but what I'm asking, whether whatever I am configuring, okay, the packet has to reach, for example, from the 10 network, need to reach to the firewall, and the firewall will do the rest of the part, like the converting that NAT to the internal IP address, that IP address to the internal IP address, and rest of the thing. But that reachability, I want. Not now. For example, we will have other lectures for that. But for now, you only do go ahead with the basic stuff. See, which is fine if we have IP addresses on the 20 network. That is also fine. Just go ahead into that notepad and just change those IPs from the. Yeah, yeah, that will also serve the purpose. There is no need to break the topology. Yeah, just make sure that those IPs are not used somewhere else. The two interface will also serve the purpose. Okay. Yeah. To us, like if we want to, more other way understanding. For example, other interface is the DMZ interface where we have the web servers sort of things. Like in a real, it's like something like that. But for that purpose, two interface will serve the purpose because interface over there only will have these web servers, and it's up to us. Like we will start that internet server. Yeah. So first step, you having no issues on that, the basic installation. And what consideration if you go back to that CLI before doing this? Go to that, the one you just show me the interfaces. Just type there clear and go. You can't run that, right? Type set. I mean, one second. I'll just give you the command over a chat. You're able to access the chat of this, right? Uh, Let me see. There should be something called, yes. Just say hi over there. Okay, awesome. So you have to write the command set export. Just go ahead and type this and press the tab space expert P password. Uh, P and tab. Yeah. Enter. Give it a password. Remember this password, okay? Yeah. Now write expert. Just expert. And enter. Give it a password. And now run this command. Df hyphen h. Yeah, that's it. Let me check what you have now. So you have given root directory 20 gig. 14 gig is available. Good. SDA is 9. 30 gig for this. Temporary. Okay, that is fine. We can proceed with the installation now. Because I want to just make sure that we should have enough space. So if we have new things in place, it should not give an error, right? Yeah. Go with that upgrade visa. Yeah. Control and Alt, and I can see your mouse. You are going on names. Control Alt. You have to press Control and Alt at both at together. Then it will leave this thing, and you will get actual control, right? Yeah. Give it a name. SMS. Go back. You have internet connectivity on. Okay. So give it primary DNS server name. Give it a 8.8.8.8. Okay. Now go next. Yeah. Next, your time zone and next. Now, wait here. So if you see, you are defining this is as a primary. Okay. So like in a gateway, we have the clustering, high availability solution. With the management server also, we have this solution. Okay. So just click that drop down and select secondary instead of primary, just for the sake. Yeah. And say next. See, here also it will ask you for the activation key, right? So when you want the solution where the two management server act together as active passive, okay. So when you going to install the secondary management server, you have to select the secondary option and you have to give this activation key. Okay. During the initial setup, we used to forget these things and we give first management server as a primary and second also we give as a primary and we go next. Then after we won't be able to establish the high availability. So this is the only solution you can establish the high availability. Okay. Now go back and again click that drop down list and see there is something called log server, smart event only. So you have a flexibility that you can only have the management server for the logging purpose. Why in a large environment, right now we're talking about the one gateway, one management server. But when you talk with the large environment, they were having, say 100 plus gateways. They were having 100 plus SMS management servers and everything, right? When we talk about the terms like MDS, multi-domain servers, VSX, virtual system extensions, all those things, okay? That time they create a separate log servers, okay? So that time you have to use this option, okay? Now select the primary and click next. Again, go back. I just wanted to explain you one more thing. There is something automatically download blade contract. You have to keep this option checked. If you not check this option, when you try to download the OS from the smart web UI itself, it will not give you this flexibility if you unselect this option. So this option need to be there. Okay. Okay. Next. Now you can define new admin or you can use your old credential. Better use the old one. Yeah. Next. Contact to your SMS. Yeah. Right. Gateway. Now do one thing we forgot to do in last SMS. Save the config. Say save config. If your lab get rebooted, your password will be saved, so you don't have to do this again. Just save config. Do it on the SMS as well. Now do it here. Save config. That's it. Save config. That's it. Okay. We're doing from the expert mode. So you know there is a two mode, one standard mode, right? So whatever the advanced command we want to run, those are from the expert mode, right? And the basic commands and the set commands will run from the standard mode. No, no, it's not like that. Uh, some way it's like yes, because expert mode you run lot of Linux command, Unix commands. Uh, in here standard mode, you can run some Linux command as well, but whatever the commands we have from the checkpoint, we'll learn from it. Do one thing, just press tab, see, yeah, and you will see all the commands. And do one more thing now, show config, yeah, configuration, the last one, enter. See, you already got the syntax as well. Just press more. You just have to copy this command. Say, for example, I want to enable web SSL port on some other port. You have to just copy that say it web SSL port, and instead of 443, you give some other port. It's no, no, no. It will not work. It will work for the some extent because that is the the difference between the ASA, the Cisco world, and this. Some things which you have said are not visible here. Some things are there. So when we talk about the entire configuration, it will not. But for the basic configuration, you will that is fine. You can copy paste that. Yeah. I'll give you the another command. Go to the this one, export code, yeah, and write down this command. I have just copy pasted on the chat. Yeah, yeah, that okay. But when you have this model loaded, if you run that command, you will get a lot of the IP details what you are trying to reach. It will work. No, it will work. Let's try. After in expert mode, FW get IFS. Okay. So you can create multiple interfaces from here itself, or if you want to go ahead and do it from web UI option, that is also there. So if you go back, yeah, and here uh, you have selected one, right? Now, mm, no, 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 go back. Config IPv4 is something like that. Just make it on. IP, it's a V6 or V4. Okay. Say next. Yes, yes. That's why. That's why. So, your lab, it need to be have a multiple interface. For now, we require one for internal to start with. Yeah, and one for the external. If there's something like setting, there is something called networks there at the top before updates. Yeah, on the same configure, permission, VMs, database, data stores, and then there is a networks. At the top, you mean when you go to your configure, right? There is a network. Yeah. See, I remember some stuff. So you can see two links there, right? Two links. Connection got close. No, that is fine. Now we can restart this. Just take a new session. That will be fine. Yeah, why it's showing you one? Because that is not configured. Just go ahead and do the web UI. Yeah. No, no, go back. Cancel this and again start a new session. You took that session. Go to the No, it's not already there. Try to just no, it will not allow you again. No, it will not show you uh, because of the first time configuration. So do one thing, delete everything and start again from the scratch. No, go ahead. But I doubt you will get anything there. No, there is, but you have to use this command log database override because the config is the copy paste on the screen. If you see, there's a command log database override. No, no, no. On the same command line, they have given you an option to copy. If you see, there is something called log database override. That. Really good. That's thinking. When you configure the first time wizard, that time only it will show you those details. Later on also you can configure, but sometimes due to some one or the another reason. But let's see. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, that is fine. But we are considering the 10 dot as internal or external. Okay, external. That is fine. Just make a note on your notepad. Yeah, external is better. Yeah. Go back and give the DNS name also. You can give it from the web UI also, but just for the sake of saving the time, we will give it from you. Yeah, 8.8 will be fine. Yeah, it will ask you for specific management. Just select that for now. Select that for now. Yeah. and say next. Now it will ask you, uh, so same SIC will be using for the purpose of the management communication. No, I'm not talking about the gateway clustering. I just said select that, and the SIC will be used for the management communication. In case in future, if you want to do the clustering, right? So we already selected that option. Like we can also create the cluster. You got my point, right? Yeah, it will. No, no, no. It's not like that. The SIC will ask you the just go ahead and yeah, disable it just for the practical purpose. And go ahead next. Okay. The SIC was anyhow it will ask you. Okay. There is no part of it, but just go back and enable that. It is only that that you are doing the clustering in future. Again, go back, go back. Again, go back. Okay. Go back, go back. Go next. No, I want to show you one more option. Uh, Select next. Uh, yeah, yeah, go next. Go next. Yeah. Now unselect that unit is a part of cluster and select next. See, it's what is asking you. Does the gateway have a dynamic assigned IP address? Okay. So if you select the clustering part, it not ask you this thing because in the clustering we'll be giving this virtual IPs and everything. But if you are gateway is a standalone, and in some scenarios, uh, the ISP they provide the IP address to your gateway. In that case, you have to select this yes. Okay, go back and say that is unit is part of the cluster type. Next, next, finish. Why I wanted to show you all the options because right now you're working on one environment. But in a future, you might be going in some other environment and you will be surprised, man, how I am getting the IP from the ISP, you know? So you are sure now, okay, there is an option for that as well. No, no, no. I just put myself on mute. There was some background noise. Yeah. So tomorrow we'll be establishing the SIC. Once that is done, we'll be doing the policy installations and some will install some Active Directory there, some servers, and from there we'll try to troubleshoot the issues, like dropping the issues and all. And we'll look more into the all of the options into the gateways. Mhm. Mhm. See, they don't need to communicate for to each other for a long time. Communication only need to be there when we are trying to impose something from the management server to the gateway. But your question is valid when we talk about the gateway. Say I have a two gateway in a cluster. So say those supposed to be in a sync with each other for lot of years. Over there, we have a terminologies, how it works. There is something called some internal protocols like CCP, cluster control protocols, like that. Those take care of those part, syncing between those cluster, those gateways and all. For management server, there is no need to, always be communicated. But having said that, it is always communicated. So once the SIG is established, okay, until you are disrupting anything, for example, you are putting some policies in place where the communication is not happening like that, it will not break. Yes. Generating a new SIG is like just few commands you need to run, and you will be having a new SIG key. So there is no issue on that, but provided if you change the SIG, whatever the environment you have already communicating with that gateway will goes, uncommunicated. We'll see that part during our labs. So tomorrow you got Saturday, right? Uh, I'm just checking the timing. So for me, if you what time you wake up during weekends? Okay, it's if we have session at 10:30 a.m. Is it fine for you? So it's mine is 11 p.m. So I can take that to say my I'm talking about my timing 12, 1 or 2, 3 hours. Okay.